Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. So far, 4 problems I have completed in the last videos regarding the determination of working capital. In this video, 5th and 6th, 2 more problems I'm going to explain you about how to determine the working capital by applying components method. So under components method, for each component we have to estimate how much is the current asset, how much is the amount required. For example, stock of raw material, stock of work in progress, stock of finished goods, debtors, cash in hand. These are few current assets. Current liabilities are creditors, lag in payment of wages, lag in payment of overheads. Lag in payment means outstanding expenses. So by calculating total of current assets minus total of current liabilities, we'll get to working capital. All these things I have already explained in the previous videos. So if you have not watched the earlier videos, I suggest you to go to the playlist of my channel. Select the subject, Financial Decision Making. In this subject, you will find so many videos on different topics. Select the topic Working Capital. In that topic, you will find all the videos how to compute the working capital, cash management, receivables management, inventory management. Be thorough with the theory. Then only you should come to the problems. Now I'm going to start for fifth problem. But before starting the fifth problem, I expect my viewers to have a printout of the problems, which I have given in the link under my description. Always keep it ready. Without problems, you cannot understand anything. Take the screenshot of the solution of fifth and sixth problem, then I'll explain all the points. Come on, see the problem number 5. Now, you are required to prepare a statement showing the working capital needed to finance a level of activity of 52,000 units of output. So, we want to estimate the working capital for the level of activity for the output required is 52,000 units. The following information is available: raw material per unit 8 rupees, direct labor per unit 2 rupees, overhead per unit 6 rupees, total cost 16 rupees. Profit 4 and selling price 20. We don't require for calculating working capital because we assume that we have to calculate the working capital on cost basis, not on the selling price, because selling price includes profit and profit may or may not be a source of working capital. Raw material are in stock on an average 4 weeks. Stock of raw material 4 weeks. Year consists of 52 weeks. So we assume year consists of 52 weeks, but here the stock of raw material is for 4 weeks. So we divide 4 by 52. If it is given in months, we would have taken divided by 12. So if sometimes the problem it will give in months, sometimes in weeks. So when it is given in months, divide by 12. When it is given in weeks, divide by 52. So here we'll take 4 by 52. Material are in process, means work in progress, on an average for 2 weeks. So for calculating stock of WIP, we take 2 by 52. Finished goods are in stock on an average for 6 weeks, 6 by 52. And credit allowed to customer, customer means debtors. So credit allowed to debtors, 8 weeks, 8 by 52. Credit allowed by suppliers. Suppliers are the creditors. So creditors are 4 weeks, 4 by 52. Lag in payment of wages, delay in payment of wages, outstanding wages. It's a current liability. So 1.5 weeks, so 1.5 by 52. It is necessary to hold cash in hand and cash at bank amounting to 75,000. So on an average, cash in hand will be 75,000. It may be noted that production is carried on evenly during the year and wages and overheads accrue similarly. That means all the production activity is evenly spreaded. That's it. Now, statement of showing working capital requirement. First of all, stock of raw material. How many units we are going to produce? Output 52,000 units. That is given in the problem. And each unit raw material is 8 rupees. Per unit raw material 8 rupees given. So if you multiply 52,000 into 8, you will get the raw material for 1 year. but the stock of raw material is only 4 weeks. So we need the raw material for 4 weeks. So 4 by 52. So 32,000 rupees is the stock of raw material. Now stock of work in progress in working note. In working note we should write the assumption. Work in progress means semi-finished goods, partly completed, partly incomplete. But we don't know what is the percentage completed, how much percentage incomplete, that is not specified. So we make the assumption. What is that assumption? 50%. Half of the work is completed. So we make the assumption that half of the work is completed. So 100% material is applied, but only 50% labor and 50% overhead is applied. That is our assumption, normal assumption. So that assumption you should write in examination in working note. So further assume that overheads are factory overheads. In the problem only overheads are given. We don't know whether it is factory overhead or administration overhead or selling overhead or what. Here we make the assumption that overheads are factory overhead. That's why we should include in work in progress. If it is the administration overhead, then we would not have included in WIP. But here we make the assumption it is factory overhead, so we include raw material. How many units we are making? 52,000 units we are making, right? What is the raw material cost per unit? 8 rupees raw material cost. The process, the work in progress period is 2 weeks, that is given in the problem. 2 by 52. 100% material is applied. So 52,000 into 8 into 2 by 52 into 100%, 16,000 is raw material in work in progress. Now labor. 52,000 into labor cost per unit 2 rupees into 2 by 52 into 50%. So we assume half of the labor is applied. It comes to 2,000. Overheads. 52,000 into 6 rupees per unit overhead, 6 rupees given in the problem, into 2 by 52 into 50%, 6,000. So we got the stock of WIP 24,000. Now this 24,000 you take it here. Stock of WIP 24,000. Stock of finished goods. Finished goods means raw material, labor, overhead, everything is applied. So we take the total cost. Total cost per unit is 16. So 52,000 into 16 into 6 weeks, 6 by 52. The period of finished goods stock is 6 weeks. So 6 by 52, 96,000. Debtors. 52,000 into 16 total cost into how much time period we are allowing to customers. It is given 8 weeks. 8 by 52. 1,28,000. Cash in hand to be held, that is already given in the problem, 75,000. No need of any calculations. The total of current assets comes to 3,55,000. Now current liabilities. The current liabilities consist of creditors. So how much time period the creditors, the suppliers are allowing to us? It is 4 weeks. So 52,000 units into 8 rupees per unit is the material cost into 4 by 50. 32,000 is the creditor. Lag in payment of wages. It is given in the problem. Lag in payment of wages is 1.5 weeks. 1.5 weeks. So 52,000 into 2 rupees is the wages per unit into 1.5 by 52. 3,000. That's it. Take the total of these two, 35,000. Now current asset 355, current liability 35. Deduct, you'll get 3,20,000 is the working capital required. Remember, this type of problems are very important not only at graduation level but also even at professional level. For CA Inter, CA Foundation as well as CMA Inter, this type of problems will be asked. Next comes sixth problem. From the following information, prepare a statement showing estimated working capital required. Projected annual sales 26,000 units. So we have to estimate the working capital for a level of activity of 26,000 units. And selling price per unit 60 rupees. And analysis of selling price are 40% of selling price is the material, 30% of selling price is the labor, and 20% of selling price is the overhead. Profit, ignore, we don't require profit. So first of all, we calculate what is the material cost per unit, labor cost per unit, and overhead per unit. Here you can see. Selling price per unit is 60 rupees given. Of that 60 rupees, 40% is material. So material 40% of 60 comes to 24. Labor E is 30%. So 30% of 60 rupees, 80 rupees. And overheads are 20%. So 20% of 60, 12 rupees. So we got material per unit 24, labor per unit 18 and overhead per unit 12. So total cost per unit is 54. That's it. Now, time lag on an average. Raw material in stock 3 weeks. Again it is given in weeks. So we'll divide it by 52. 3 by 52 is the stock of raw material. Then production process 4 weeks. Production process means work in progress. 4 by 52. Then credit to debtors. Credit period allowed to debtors 5 weeks. 5 by 52. Credit by suppliers. Suppliers are the creditors. Liability 3 weeks. 3 by 52. Lag in payment of wages and overheads 2 weeks. So there is lag in payment of wages and lag in payment of overheads 2 weeks. 2 by 52. Finished goods in stock 2 weeks. And cash in hand is expected to be 32,000. The balance cash in hand kept is 32,000. Directly we will take. Problem is exactly similar to the last problem. So here statement showing working capital requirement, current assets are stock of raw material. How many units we are making the production? 26,000 given in the first line. 26,000 units into material cost per unit, 24 rupees. 24 rupees is the material cost. So if you multiply 26,000 into 24, for 1 year material will get. But how many weeks is the stock of raw material? 3 weeks. So 3 by 52. It comes to 36,000. Multiply 26,000 into 24 into 3 by 52, 36. Stock of work in progress. Again, it depends on our assumption. Nothing is given in the problem. We assume that half of the work is completed on WIP. So we take 100% of material, whereas only 50% of labor and overheads. That sentence you have to write it here. Then raw material. 26,000 units we are making. Each unit raw material 24 rupees into how much is the period of processing? 4 weeks. So 4 by 52 into 100%. 48,000. Labor. 26,000 units into 18 rupees is the labor cost per unit into 4 by 52 into 50%. We have made the assumption only half. Because if you take all 100%, then it will not be work in progress. It will become finished goods. So only 50%, 18,000. Overheads 26,000 into 12 rupees per unit overhead 12 rupees into 4 by 52 into 50%, 12,000. The total of work in progress comes to 78,000. Stock of WIP, 78,000. Stock of finished goods. We'll take the total cost. What is the total cost here? 54 rupees. So 26,000 units into 54 rupees into 2 by 52, 54,000. Similarly, debtors. 26,000 into 54 into 5 by 52. The credit period allowed to customers 5 weeks is given in the problem. 5 by 52, 1,35,000. Cash in hand directly given 32,000. Take the total of current assets 3,35,000. Now we need current liabilities, creditors. The 26,000 into creditors are for material. Creditors are those people from whom we have purchased the material. The material cost is 24 rupees per unit. So 26,000 into 24 into 3 by 52. The time period allowed by suppliers, creditors is 3 weeks. 3 by 52, 36,000. Lag in payment of wages, 26,000 into 18 into 2 by 52. 2 weeks is the lag in payment of wages and overheads. So you'll get 18,000. Lag in payment of overheads 26,000 into 12. Per unit overheads 12 rupees. Into 2 by 52, 12,000. Take the total of the current liability 66,000. Furnished. So we got the current asset, we got the current liability. CA minus CL is the working capital. 3,35,000 minus 66,000, 2,69,000 is the working capital required. That's it. So in this problem, I have explained each and every point regarding this estimation of working capital for 5th and 6th problem. Totally 6 problems I've completed on working capital. Hope you are completely satisfied. You are completely confident on the problems of working capital. So if you are satisfied with my lecture, give a like to the video. Share my channel in your groups, in your friend circles, so that more students can watch the video and enhance the knowledge. Come on, now we'll start the next problem. Problem number 7. Growmore Limited is presently operating at 60% level, producing 36,000 units per annum. In view of favorable market conditions, it has been decided that from 1st Jan 2022, the company would operate at 90% capacity. So presently the company is operating at 60% capacity and producing 36,000 units only. But from the year 2022, the company would operate at 90% capacity. So there is increase. The following information is available. Existing cost price structure per unit is raw material 4 rupees per unit, wages 2 rupees per unit, overheads, variable overheads are 2 rupees per unit and fixed overheads are 1 rupee per unit. The profit is 1 rupee. So we can see here all the different cost elements are given and profit is also given. Cost are 4 plus 2, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 rupees is the cost and 1 rupee is the profit. The cost plus profit is equal to selling price. So 9 plus 1, 10. 10 rupees is the selling price, right? It is expected that the cost of raw material, wage rate, expenses and sales per unit will remain unchanged. In 2022, there is a misprint there. In the problem it is given 22,000. It is 2022. Raw material remain in stores for 2 months before these are issued to production. So stock of raw material 2 months. These units remain in production process for 1 month. That means work in progress. The period of work in progress is 1 month. Finished goods remain in godown for 2 months. Credit allowed to debtors is 2 months and credit allowed by creditors is 3 months. Lag in wages and overhead payments is 1 month. It may be assumed that wages and overheads accrue evenly throughout the production cycle. Now you are required to prepare a profit statement at 90% capacity level. First time in this topic we are going to calculate the profit, statement of profit we have to make at 90% capacity level and calculate the working capital requirement on an estimated basis to sustain the increased production level. Assumption made, if any, should be clearly indicated. So whatever assumptions you are making, clearly state in the solution. So before starting, take the screenshot of the complete solution of this 7th problem, then I'll explain all the points. Now, first of all, we have to find out how many units we are going to sell at 90%. At 60% capacity, it is given in the problem that we are making 36,000 units. So 36,000 units are produced and sold at 60%. But now there is a proposal to increase it to 90%. So we have to find out how many units we can be able to produce and sell at 90%. So at 60% capacity, 36,000. At 90%, how much? So 90 divided by 60 into 36,000. You will get 54,000. So at 90% capacity level, we can be able to produce 54,000 units. Therefore, at 90% level, the company will produce and sell 54,000 units. First calculation completed. Now, raw material per unit is given 4 rupees, wages 2 rupees, overheads variable 2 rupees and fixed overheads are 1 rupee. Total cost is 9 rupee. Profit 1 rupee, add up, you'll get selling price 10 rupees. That's it. Now, total fixed cost at present. Presently, the fixed overhead are 1 rupee per unit. And presently, how many units are produced? 36,000. At 36,000 units, 1 rupee per unit, the total fixed overheads are 36,000 rupees. Now, the nature of fixed overhead is the fixed cost will remain same whether we make 36,000 units or we make 54,000 units. The fixed cost always remain constant. So here presently fixed cost 36,000. So even if we expand the production to 54,000 units, this fixed overhead will remain constant, will not change. So whether we produce 36,000 units or 54,000, the fixed cost remains same, 36,000. Now we'll make the statement of profit. How much profit we are going to get by making 54,000 units at 90% level. Sales. 54,000 units into selling price per unit is 10 rupees. Here we have calculated. So 54,000 into 10, 5,40,000 is the total sales revenue minus variable cost. We have two types of cost. This raw material, wages and this variable overhead. These three are variable. And last one, fixed overheads. So leaving the fixed overheads, the variable overheads are three. Raw material 54,000 units into 4 rupees, 2,16,000. Wages 54,000 into 2 rupees, 1,08,000. Variable overhead 54,000 into 2 rupees, 1,08,000. Take the total 4,32,000 is the variable cost. So from sales, we deduct the variable cost, we'll get the contribution. From contribution, we deduct the fixed overheads. The fixed overheads are 36,000. Just now I told you it will remain same. So 36,000 deduct, we will get the profit 72,000. The first part completed. It is asking you how much profit at 90% level. 72,000. That's it. Now I am moving on to the next question. Calculate the estimated working capital requirement. So here, estimation of working capital requirement. We need the current assets. Current assets, first stock of raw material. So 54,000 units into 4 rupees is the raw material cost. Just now we have discussed here. Raw material cost is 4 rupees per unit. So 54,000 into 4 rupees. How much is the duration of stock of raw material? 2 months given in the problem. The raw material are kept in the stock for 2 months before it is issued for production. So 2 by 12, it comes to 36,000. Stock of work in progress. This we have to calculate in working notes. In working note, you should write down. It is assumed that half of the work is completed on WIP. So we take 100% of material, but only 50% of labor and overheads. Only 50% because half. So material 54,000 into 4 rupees into 1 by 12. Material are in processing for 1 month given in the problem. So 1 by 12 into 100%, 18,000. Now labor 54,000 into 2 rupees per unit. Labor here you can see 2 rupees per unit. Wages. Wages or labor means same. So 2 rupees into 1 by 12 into 50%. We are taking 4,500. Overheads 54,000 into 3 rupees overhead. Because 2 rupees are the variable overhead and 1 rupee is the fixed overhead. So total overhead is 3 rupees per unit. So 3 rupees into 1 by 12 into 50%, 6,750. The total comes to 29,250 is the stock of work in progress. Here we have calculated. Now take this 29,250. Stock of finished goods. Finished goods will take total cost. How much is the total cost here? 9 rupees. So 54,000 into 9 rupees into 2 by 12. 2 month is the period of stock of finished goods. 81,000. Debtors. 54,000 into 9 rupees total cost into 2 by 12. 2 month credit period allowed to debtors. So 81,000. The total comes to 2,27,250. These are the current assets. Now we'll come to current liabilities. Creditors. 54,000 into 4. Material cost is 4 rupees into 3 by 12. 3 by 12, 3 months period. 54,000. Lag in payment of wages 54,000 into 2 rupees. Wages are 2 rupees per unit. So into 1 by 12, 9,000. Lag in payment of overheads 54,000 into 3 rupees. That means 2 rupees variable overhead, 1 rupee fixed overhead, total overhead 3 rupees into 1 by 12, 13,500. Take the total of the liabilities, 76,500 is the current liability. The working capital is CA minus CL, 2,27,250 minus 76,500, 1,50,750 is the working capital required. This is the end of problem number 7. So far 7 problems we have completed on working capital. Inshallah, we will continue the next problem in the next video.